What's up, folks? Welcome to Talk and Rock episode 4. And guess who is back? The gang from the episode 1 when we were talking about the Dream Theater. And we are back to talk again today about another band, about Flying Colors, a project, a supergroup suggested by my friend and usual suspect in our channel, Rainer. So, Flying Colors, ladies and gentlemen, yes, welcome aboard. So, gentlemen, how are we doing? Welcome aboard. Ivan, good to see you back, man.
Thank you, man. I was waiting for this moment. I honestly miss you both of you guys. It's been a while.
It's been. Rainer?
Absolutely, Ivan. It's been a while. Yeah. So first of all, Michael, thanks for having me again, and thanks for agreeing on making that ranking. Well, it's not really a ranking because they have only 3 albums, but to talk about Flying Colors, I think a very interesting project, and good to see Ivan for that project review because I think it's very interesting to hear also Ivan's view on that kind of in partly controversial group. So let's see. Let's see. I'm really curious, and I'm happy that today we are again the three of us. Great.
I mean, me personally, I dig the whole I dug the whole discography for like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks. As you said, Rainer, there are 3 albums. I was not familiar with the band at all. And okay, they have 3 albums. But it's interesting to see Steve Morse on guitars, which is a huge Petrucci influence, John Petrucci influence, and of
Yeah.
course
Yeah.
Mike Portnoy. What is interesting is that prog pop band with every single member being very, very successful commercially as well. I was not familiar with the singer like at all, Casey, and it actually surprised me, but it's not the casual pop band that you listen to every day. It's like it takes a while to get through. So what you guys think? Ivan, tell me your opinion. You didn't know as well, just like me, the band, right?
No, never heard. And they are obviously not popular. Like you said, they only made 3 albums. And well, that good thing is that you can listen all discography. You don't need like a year or 6 months to listen. No,
Yeah.
and I pretty much listened to it a lot lately since you made me do my homework. But I'm not complaining. It was actually a good experience for me.
Rainer, how was
Yeah.
the dusting out the whole thing again from Flying Colors?
Well, it's super interesting for me. I had it's for me. It started everything when I by coincidence heard some tracks from the third live album. So there, I think at that time, Flying Colors was not even there anymore. So therefore, it was quite late, and I just heard. Well, this guitar sounds a little bit like Steve Morse, and the drums sound very much familiar, and that background voice that sounds a little bit like Neil Morse. But I was totally puzzled because the music as such and the composition didn't fit at all to those 3 musicians, and so therefore I wanted to simply to know who these guys are, and then I started to investigate, and I really like the story behind, so that the executive producer Bill Evans in 2008 had that strange idea to say, well, let's take 4 top of the shelf instrumentalists and put some more pop oriented singer and lead vocalist, a little bit like a counterposition to these 4 excellent musicians who normally come from the prog rock side. And the result is really, really furious because it has everything. It has some folk elements, it has pop elements, it has fusion elements, such a variety of songs. And it's interesting to see when you go to their homepage. Bill Evans said at the beginning, no one needs another supergroup, but maybe someone needs another super extraordinary group, this totally new kind of sound. And I think that's achieved with all 3 albums. And I like the sound, I like the music. It's totally different. It's normally not the kind of music that I much listen to, but in their case, it's totally different. So I love that kind of experimental approach.
The Casey, the singer, is actually the original singer frontman or whatever from one band called Alpha
Yeah,
Rev, and
yeah.
no idea, man. And I was very suspicious when I first listened to the discography. But anyways, let's get into details, gentlemen. Ivan, you can go first. Which album goes to the third position and why? Get us through a little bit on your.
Thank you for making me go first. Just to find my list. Just a second. Okay. So, as you both know, I never heard for this band. I'm not some long time fan. I only found out them about recently. So thanks again, Michael, a lot. So I'm giving a chance to this band, and they remind me when I started first to read about them. They are like some star. Some conditions happen. They they were they were together for a couple of years, made three albums, and boom, that's it. We're never going to see the star again. That's how I see it, at least. So I'm here, a newbie. So everything I said, don't take it seriously, please. Uh, these three albums sounds very similar to me, which can be good and a bad thing, depend on how you look at it. Uh, I don't know why are they calling flying colors, but I read somewhere that that means actually when you make something easily and successfully, and that actually makes sense for this.
Yeah, it's like you're saying,
Uh,
I passed the exams with flying colors. It's like easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
yes, exactly. But that is common in English language, and
Hmm.
you know English is that my first language. Uh, so let's start. They it's like they met a couple of times and decide let's make albums, let's make some songs. So like I said, all three albums are very similar, not only in sound but also in quality. At least for me, they are all three good albums. But on the third place, I put the third degree. What to say about this album? This album has a very strong opening and has amazing closing, but I lost a little bit in the middle of the album. Some songs are like just meh for me, and overall, they are the fewest songs that I actually adore compared to the other two albums.
Hmm.
Uh, I know they are not like typical pop band and they don't make typical pop songs in a strict sense, and they don't have catchy moments, so to say. So at the first, the songs don't really stick in my ears, at least at the first. And but I have to admit that there is a few great instrumental parts on this album, and it's like they make more effort on this album than the other to make longer songs. Uh, it's also I feel that this album has the best bass here. The rhythm and the solo sections are really great, and this album sounds the most like something that critics would praise a lot. So honestly, I don't have any major complaints about this album at all. It's just there are no bad songs, but there aren't many songs that amaze me. So I put it the third album in the third place.
All right. Fair enough. Rainer?
Interesting, Ivan, and I fully agree. By the way, what you said. All three albums are very close to each other, so I think there is not really a high level ranking possible because they are very close, as said. When I would need to judge which is the third one on my ranking list, then it would be Second Nature, so the middle album. Why it's the case? I think it's a very balanced album, and that's a little bit the difference of the first and the third. The first and the third play a little bit more with that difference between the different styles of music that gets combined. So Second Nature is a little bit more balanced, and it flows a little bit harmony-wise along. And yeah, my preferences on the album are Mask Machine, a really great song, very straight. It's more the rock element of Flying Colors, very guitar driven. And of course, the interaction between Steve Morse and Mike Portnoy is extraordinary. But I also like Bombs Away. Bombs Away is I think one of the coolest songs of
Yeah.
Flying Colors. It even has some blues elements that was totally surprising
Funky,
that
funky.
they even turn into that area. But it has also some pop elements. It has a quite unique architecture, so it doesn't fit into any typical drawer of music styles. And of course, yeah, Cosmic Symphony, almost an epic, I would say, almost an epic, and it has an absolutely fantastic Steve Morse solo in the middle section, so therefore absolutely great. And there is one, and we get back to that at another place. There is one fantastic ballad there on that Second Nature. This is Peaceful Harbor. Some people say it's a little bit too much sugar sweet, but I love that ballad for various reasons. So excellent, love it. So, however, it's number three because I think the other two have some more preferences for me at least.
All right, all right. So just to spice things up, I should say that the first one is my number third. So we have something. No, no, just kidding. I'm just kidding. So my number three is actually as well the Third Degree, and when I compare it to the first two, I find it not the least interesting, but I'm not dying with the songs so much like with the first two albums. The intro song, the loss inside, great. Then you have the what was the name, more, that you can totally listen to Muse. It's like a copy paste Muse influence, like copy paste, like literally, and the voice, the echo effect on the vocals, everything. Then Geronimo is a very nice song that I like a lot with very interesting funky bass. And of course, you have as well the Love Letter, which is like a Beatles take that, Backstreet Boys. I mean, it's such a happy song, but like whole major chords, I suppose. Over happy, uh, which is probably gonna enter my top 10 as a nice surprise there. Interestingly, so all three albums are gems, very close to each other for sure. I have to put it as a third because I'm just getting more excited with the first and the second. So for this reason, there is nothing bad with the album. If I would have to say which song I like the least, maybe The Guardian, maybe, but it's not a bad song for sure. So yeah, yep, that's for me the third position. And let's go to the
Perfect.
second position, Ivan.
Uh, it's interesting to me. We never talk about this.
No.
Okay, we didn't know the position. We didn't know about the songs, about anything. And I have my list here, and I decided not to talk about the songs itself because we're going to have top 10 and they have like 30 songs, so basically almost
130.
every song. So we're about to talk almost every song that they made. So I'm just going about general, but later we're going to talk about the songs. So number second place, this was actually very hard for me. And the second place is Flying Colors, their debut album. And this one I like a little more because this album bought me immediately on the first listening. This one also has a great opening and has more songs that I like.
Mhm.
And interestingly, I yesterday read that they recorded this album in just 9 days. Is this even possible? And that is actually amazing thing. It's a few musical geniuses came together and they say, let's make an album. And this is the result, the debut album. And now then the band's name, what I was talking before, that makes a lot more sense to me. This album is for me probably a little raw, and I will agree the other two albums are a lot more polished, and they may be more meaningful as a whole, but I prefer this on the musical side. What this album doesn't have is defined direction or genre. This album has everything, and in this case, for me, this is a positive thing. Maybe
Diversity, diversity.
diversity, yes, yes. Probably has the least prog on this album, but has everything else. It has more pure rock. There are also lots of guitar solos, which I really like. Songs aren't that long, probably because of the time that they spent together recording the album. And I think that this album is more accessible to the most people. And I fall into that group also.
Mhm.
So, as I said, there's everything here. We have catchy pop that I can sing. There's instrumentals where I can hear the geniuses of the band. The only downside for me of this album is that the first half of album is so incredible for me that the second part comes about a little bit weaker. So that's for me.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Rainer, hit us.
Yeah, my number two is Third Degree, so the last album of the three of them. And well, the reason is, and that sounds contradictory at the beginning, because the reason is it's the most mature album of Flying Colors. But that's exactly the point. By that, it lost a little bit the approach in the end of being that kind of complex scenario of rock, pop, funk, fusion, even some folk elements. So it's a little bit more streamlined. It goes more directly into the progressive rock approach. And but of course, the way it is played and the way it is opened with the loss inside and the play it ends with crawl with is really a fantastic epic that creates such kind of a frame for this whole album, so that I even like it a bit more than Second Nature, and especially since it has not only that one epic crawl, but also The Last Train Home, which is also, if you ask me, from a composition side, a little bit more an epic style and a little bit more progressive style of a song. And yeah, I mean, also the song "You Are Not Alone," which reminds of the victims of the big Hurricane Katrina and what happened there. There's a great story behind, heart touching, heartfelt, and so therefore, it, the whole concept of the album and the whole composition and everything together leads me to the point that it is my number two.
All right. My number two is the second nature. So, number two, the second album. Um, this album has something very, very interesting. It has huge diversity. You can see funky songs, Bombs Away. You can see over sweet ballad, Peaceful Harbor, an almost epic Cosmic Symphony, The Fury of My Love, the classic love song. Um, I like it more than the Third Degree because I like more songs from the albums. I have to say that when I was working and I played the album, just to be on the back. When I first listened, the Peaceful Harbor, you have the whole album is generally not like depressive or something, you know. It's like enjoyable to play it again and again. And then all of a sudden I'm working and I hear in the background this siren voice from Casey in the Peaceful Harbor, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I put it on the repeat, and it's such a peaceful masterpiece. Specifically, this song from this album got my attention from everything. It's unbelievable sometimes how a song can lift up the whole album. I think it's the best, for me, the best song from the album. And I like the idea and the musicality more on this album than the third one. But let's just say a few things about the band as well. What generally I love about Flying Colors, and we will see it also in my number one, which is the first album, is that I like the polyphonic vocals. Neil Morse also brings a lot to the vocal. Portnoy, another voice, and you have like three vocals bringing so much depth. It's not just a classic pop singer singing and the talented musician behind playing. It's very, very, very interesting, and special thanks to this guy on the bass, Dave LaRoe. I don't know what is his name. I was not familiar at all with him, and my jaw dropped instantly when I listened to the whole discography. I was like, this guy's a genius. He's like playing sweet bass melodies, rhythm tempos when it's needed. Lead bass, for example, in Blue Ocean and other songs. Then you have funky intro stuff, solo bass. He is doing everything. And it was my pleasant surprise because Steve Morse, I know what I would expect. Portnoy, I knew what I would expect. So I didn't expect this polyphony. I didn't expect this amazing bass. And Neil Morse on the keyboards with some solos. I'm like, what's going on? Great stuff. So, Second Nature is a better album for me when I compare it to Third Degree because I like more of the songs. For example, Bombs Away, Peaceful Harbor, A Place in Your World, etc. And we are going to see which songs I'm going to pick from here from my top 10 because it's definitely going to be something from here as well.
That's
So,
interesting, Michael. And just to add, because you said something about Dave LaRue and Steve Morse have a
I
very
know.
very strong link. You know it
Yeah,
because they worked together on one of the solo albums of Steve Morse and together with the Dixie Dregs. So they know each other very well. And I think you can hear that the guitar of Steve Morse and the bass of Dave LaRue when they start to play with each other literally. So that's awesome, like that.
no. And I would like to explore this band in the future because I haven't listened to anything from them.
Uh,
But
no,
still,
Dixie Dregs was a fantastic band, and in all honesty, also the solo albums of Steve Morse and the Steve Morse band, especially the introduction. The introduction, by the way, was my first step into the more progressive rock area. When this was released, I heard it and immediately I fell in love with that album. It's a fantastic solo album of Steve Morse. Love
oh,
it.
all right, man. I'll take a listen. It's your turn.
Do it. Good.
So number one positions.
So number one is Second Nature. This one and the first album are very, very close for me. This one also has a really masterful opening and a great ending. And practically everything I said before applies to this also. I really like the instrumentals where you can really see what the quality of bands are, like Mike Portnoy or Morse. Again, I have no complaints about this album. It's quite diverse. There are some catchy pop parts. There are prog. There are longer songs, lighter songs, gentler songs, great riffs, solos. You can find everything here. If I have to find some nuance why this is first place, it would be that this album seems a little bit sadder to me. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but this is
Hmm.
personal impression because, as a rule, I prefer minors over majors, so to speak, and I can and it seems to me that I can hear a little bit more of Portnoy on this album, and that is a big plus because I'm a big fan of him. This album has better quality and arrangements of the songs. There are no major deviation or amplitudes, and it's wonderfully rounded whole from beginning to end.
Very well, man. Well, it's generally more structured than the first one. Even Portnoy said that it's the first one was like a blind
Yes,
date.
yes,
But yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
they're very close. All the
Agree.
albums, they're great, man. Rainer, you're number one. We know which one it is.
Yeah,
Same like mine.
exactly. It's Flying Colors. It's the debut album, and whenever I listen to that album, I say to myself, what a debut album! It's for and for me, I think you can hear that it's like that kind of blind date. It really happened very quickly. They came very quickly to the point, and they cover the whole range of the compositions that also later Color always was able or has been so far able to cover. So it has even that was surprising to me, even some kind of almost hard and heavy stuff with All Falls Down. And it's really
Yeah,
interesting
absolutely.
it's absolutely interesting to you can even hear how funny it is and how big much fun it is for Steve Morse and Dave LaRue to play that kind of more hard and heavy stuff, what they've never done before, and I think I never did thereafter again. So it's a typical Portnoy song, very similar with Shoulda Coulda Woulda, because it's also really straight and more rock oriented guitar driven song. And then you have in the middle section you have songs like Kayla and The Storm, which are absolutely pop songs. And I'm really not someone who normally listens to pop songs, but this kind of pop song, which has that very high level instrumental background of that top of the shelf musicians, that really makes it spicy and makes it super interesting. And everything in between is with Forever and a Days with a song structure which is perfectly supported by Mike Portnoy. He doesn't play in the foreground, but he supports the song in an ideal way. And then, of course, the end of this album, Infinite Fire, for me, the epic song of Flying Colors, with a super interesting structure, with some changes in between. Love that song, love that album. And by the way, I also love the opener Blue Ocean, but I even love it more in the live version of the third live album, which is the third stage live in London. There, the Blue Ocean is really a blue ocean, which really covers you significantly and immediately. It's absolutely fantastic. Love that album, guys. Love it.
You basically covered me. I don't know what I should say. Uh, it has everything. It's as I said, it's like a blind date because it has so many ideas. It's like every member brought ideas to the whole thing, but every blind date is excitement. You can see so many different ideas here, from like Blue Ocean to over pop songs, as you said, to hard songs, to epic songs, to ballads. It has everything. And I feel that the debut album, it has more vocals than the other albums. And the more we go through to the second album, to the third album, the more we see Casey become the frontman, the singer. But in the first one, there are many vocals. And I like that. It's not that I don't like his voice. I think he's a great singer. But you covered me. You covered me in everything. And yeah, the all falls down. It's like, as you said, it's very typical. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't want to spoil anything from that top 10. But I will have to agree also with Ivan here that I feel the whole album has like 11 songs, and I feel that the first part, the first half, let's say, is
Uh,
slightly better than the second one. I think again, and I like pop songs. I know I'm a metalhead and stuff, but I like also pop music. And Kayla and Storm, let's fucking go, all right? I love them. So yeah, 3 albums, the flying colors. I think we passed this podcast with flying colors, guys. What do you think?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
wow,
Absolutely.
thank you very much for joining in. Rainer, thank you so much for this suggestion. I had a blast listening to this band, and hopefully I'm gonna discover more bands with you in the future because of the age difference. You are used to different stuff, and I'm very interested to see what else you're gonna bring up to talking rock, baby. Let's go. So welcome, not welcome. Sorry, I messed up my tongue. Yeah. Thank you.
Drink something, man. You're not well.
thank you for thank you for being here again in another episode, guys. You fans that stayed here until the end, let us know in the comments which of these albums, according to you, is the best. Which ranking list between the 3 songs was the best? And we're gonna see you in the top fucking 10 with flying colors when we're gonna analyze in details which song we like and why. Gentlemen, it was a blast once again. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Keep rocking and see you in the next time. Talk and
Thanks
rock.
for having us, Michael. See you.
Talk and
Thank you,
rock.
Michael.
Bye guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.